My hair is looking shiny or greasy. I keep seeing it like reflecting. I have got a hair mask in. It's making this area here really shiny and really greasy. It is the 1st of October today, which can only mean one thing. It is time to do our October reset. I have seen that a lot of people do their resets at the end of the following month. That was my plan. It didn't end up happening, so we're going to do it today. It's a new month, it's a new start, and I am excited. 2024 has been a very interesting year for me. It's marked a year since I moved in with my partner. We've been living together like a year and a half now, so that's amazing. But that means it has also marked a year and a half since my career just... I don't know what's happened since moving here, but I have really struggled to find a job that I enjoy doing. As a matter of fact, I am currently now working in basically the exact same job that I was doing when I was 22 years old. For reference, I'm about to turn 32. But we'll come back to that. We'll get back to that. It's been a while since I've done a reset, and I had planned on sitting at my computer, making it look really professional, but it's freezing cold. It's really dark and gloomy outside, and to be honest, it's so nice and cozy in my bedroom. Yeah, it's been a while since I've done one of these, so I did actually ask ChatGPT for some help, just with some little prompts to get me started. So I know when a lot of people do their resets, they will kind of plan out for the whole month ahead, do a massive deep clean of their house, like clean everything to within an inch of its life. And I do just find that whole process very overwhelming. And to be honest, that was just never going to happen. That's just not how I work. So I did deep clean the kitchen the other day. I got off work earlier than I expected, so I thought I might as well just get started. So I did that. Today, right now, what we're going to do is the actual reflecting on September, how it went for me as a month, what I've learned, what I want to do differently, and then setting goals and intentions for October. As I was saying, 2024 hasn't been a blockbuster year for me. There's been nothing really to write home about. And obviously now that we're in October, we're in Q4, we're in the final 3 months of the year. I cannot believe it. Why was September in such a rush? Hands down, felt like the quickest month of the year, no doubt. I haven't really achieved anything of note so far this year. Traditionally, I would be like, well, I might as well wait till New Year's to set my resolutions, set goals for the new year, blah, blah, blah. But when I do that, it's like it has the reverse effect in my head. It's like if I'm starting from zero on January 1st, I find it really hard to get going, and it is that momentum that pushes you through when you're trying to achieve anything. I've got 3 months left of the year. That's 3 months that I can start making progress, start laying the foundations for next year to be successful, and that can start today. I don't have to wait for New Year. So yeah, let's just get into it. I feel like I've been talking at you for long enough. So yeah, as I said, I got my prompts from ChatGPT. The reflection section starts with, what did I achieve in September? Here you obviously want to think about your kind of highlights of the month, I guess, and what sticks out when you look back on the previous month. And so for me, what I wrote here was not a whole lot. That's what I wrote. I've been making plans for how I'm going to start a business and be able to quit my job this year, but I've done absolutely nothing to take action and actually start making progress. So this isn't actually specific to September. It's not just this month that I've been saying I want to be in a position to quit my job and start my own business. So I've really achieved nothing that I wanted to achieve this month, is basically what I'm saying there. The second prompt is, what am I most proud of? And so my answer was, not much really. I used to be a habitual reader, but over the years, social media and other distractions have taken over, and my love for reading has fallen to the wayside. But I actually read every single day in September. It's not a massive achievement, but it's more than I did the month before. And then I finished by saying, I think the fact that I don't really have anything to write here is exactly why I need to start doing things differently. The third prompt is what were the biggest challenges I faced this month? So for this one, I wrote, I'm really struggling with my job right now. I'm back doing a job I was doing when I was 22, 10 years later. It's tiring, draining, and it feels like it's taken over my entire life. I'm struggling with feeling like I don't have the time and energy to work on what I really want to do in my life. But as I write that, I become more and more aware that that is actually just an excuse. What I'm actually struggling with is making my goals a priority and actually taking action. I feel like I've been using being tired from my job as an excuse. One of the books I read recently was called Hyperfocus by Chris Bailey. And in that he says, I'm paraphrasing, but it's something along the lines of, you think you don't have enough time, but you're really just filling that time with other things. If you think you don't have time to read a book, for example, swap in another task that you find more enjoyable and then see if you still say you don't have time. Do you really not have time, or are you just not making that a priority? So, yeah. I think being honest with myself is one of the biggest challenges that I'm facing. Being honest with myself, and like I said to you, holding myself accountable, because no one else is going to do it for me. No one can make me want to work on my goals and my dreams. It's only me that can do that. I could sit here and talk about that forever, to be honest, because I think about it a lot, as you can probably tell. The fourth prompt is, what habits didn't work for me? So I said, I've been saying for I don't know how long that I need to start taking better care of my health, eating better, and just generally looking after myself. I've ended up doing nothing on that front, and my body is definitely showing that. I'm always feeling tired, sluggish, and just generally not well. And it's time for me to make a change. When I was answering this one, I was thinking that I don't really have any habits, but that's not true, because we all have habits and routines. They're just not necessarily the best ones. So prompt number 5 is, what did I learn about myself last month? I put, and to be fair, this has been obvious for a long time, I learned that without accountability, I achieve absolutely nothing. When there's nothing holding me accountable to perform, I just get nothing done. That's the whole point of doing this video. I want you to be able to look back on this next month and say, yes, you actually did it. You actually, you held yourself accountable and you did start making moves. And then the 6th and final prompt was, what areas of my life need more attention? So for this one, I put, the top priority for October has to be my health. My job is relatively active. I average around 10,000 steps per workday, but my eating habits have got to change. I obviously never want to cook when I get home from work at 10, 11 at night. So I need to start planning and prepping my meals in advance on my days off. And I get 2 days off a week at least. Like, there is literally no excuse. Next up, I keep saying that I want to start a business whilst doing absolutely nothing to make it happen. So my goal for October is to finally choose one business idea and move forward with it. I also need to start prioritising my personal relationships and spend more quality time with my loved ones. For some reason, I find calling them intentions rather than goals way less intimidating. I don't know why, I just do. I've broken my intentions / goals, whatever, into 5 different categories. So we'll start off with health and well-being. That's my top priority for the month, I would say. So first of all, I'm going to plan and prep all of my meals twice a week, so that when I'm getting home from late work, or if I can't bother to cook before I go to work, there's no excuses. There'll be food, healthy snacks, balanced meals, prepped, cooked, ready in the fridge. and all I have to do is heat them up. I also want to create a simple skincare routine for everyday use because baby girl is not getting any younger, okay? And then the final one in this section is no phone use after 1 a.m. I'm trying to be realistic here, and I've gone for 1 a.m. because if I finish work at 10:30, 11, whatever, I'm gonna want to go on my phone. Like, that's just a fact. No matter how late I finish work, I can't come home and just go straight to sleep. I don't function like that. 1 a.m. I picked because that gives me a solid 2 hours to just chill out when I get home. I read my books on my Kindle, so I can do that for half an hour when I get home. If I want to watch a YouTube video in bed, like whatever, I can do all of that before 1 a.m. But where it gets silly is when I'll be sitting up on my phone until 3, 4 in the morning, and then I'm wondering why I don't want to get up the following day to have a productive morning routine. So cut-off point is 1 a.m. That's what we're doing. And then next up was the professional section. So again, this is a big focus on creating this business that's going to sustain me, that I won't have to continue working this job that I'm really not enjoying. So my goals are to have my MVP, my most viable product, completed, ready to go, everything alongside it ready to go by the end of this month. I wouldn't have it done prior to October 31st, but that is the cut-off point. Okay, another goal in this section is to post 2 videos on YouTube every week. And then the last in this section, I'm going to spend 30 minutes a day improving my skills. So that will either be things like video editing to improve my YouTube videos, or my time management processes. And then in the relationships section, I've got call mum at least once a week, because again, I've been slacking on my daughterly duties. It's just not good enough. So I need to call her at least once a week. I need to schedule 2 no screen date nights with my partner a month. Following on from that, we've got personal development. I want to complete my morning pages every morning. So if you haven't heard about morning pages, there's a book called The Artist's Way. And I'm not going to lie, I haven't actually finished reading the book. The bit that I did read up to was when she talks about morning pages and how they're essentially, it's a journaling technique, basically, in the sense that you get up, before you've looked at your phone, before you've done anything, you just sit and you write 2 sheets of paper on everything that's like on or in your mind right now. Anything that you're thinking about when you wake up that day, you write down. Next in that section is to read 1 personal development book per week. So in September, I read 3 books. I know. Yeah, I think that was quite slow paced for me, because one of those books, Hyperfocus, that I was telling you about before, I found really hard to get into. And yeah, it just took me ages to read. So I think now that I've finished that book, I should hopefully be able to read more quickly. So then the last one in that was to practice meditation for 10 minutes every day. Finally, we've got the financial goal category. First of all, we are going to limit unnecessary spending, and the biggest part of my unnecessary spending is on shit food. Like, my laziness has not only affected my health, it has massively impacted my bank balance as well. So that means we are having no more than 1 takeout per week. So I also want to transfer £100 a week into my savings account. And that I actually have been quite good at doing. That's not anything new. It will just be continuing that moving forward. And then finally, we are going to track expenses every day and review my spending habits at the end of the month. So this is another big one, because like I said to you, I've been reading more, but because I've been reading more Kindle books, I've not been keeping track of how much I've been spending on them. And the majority of the books that I pay for are like 99p or £1 or whatever. But there are some days where I've ordered like 20 different books. And I'm obviously not reading 20 books a day. But it was only when I went up my credit card bill and I was like, well, that's a lot of Amazon charges, and that's all because I hadn't fully been aware of how many books I was buying. And that's the same with other little random orders, or when I go into Tesco on my break from work, I'll spend like £20-25. The next day I'll be like, what did I buy? There's no food in the flat. All that being said, I think that's a pretty good reset. I think for the first time in a long time, I feel very clear on exactly what it is I want to be doing. I've got a sense of clarity that I haven't had for a long time. I think that's what I've been missing. I hope that if you're struggling, if you're feeling a bit stuck in life right now, I hope this was helpful for you. Just give it a go. It will literally take you like 5 minutes just to fill out the prompts and just think about what you're doing or not doing in my case. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, remember to please give it a like. And also subscribe to my channel if you would like to see more videos just like this one. And I will see you in the next video.